Nietzsche gives me whiplash. Reading his aphorisms has me swinging wildly between, damn, he got it, to what planet was this dude from? And that's saying nothing about his bitchy diva side, which may just be my favourite. Hi, I'm Iggy, and I'm going to discuss and rank some of Nietzsche's hot takes, originally from his book, Human or Too Human. This is the third and final instalment of my Ranking Nietzsche's Hot Takes series. In case you missed the first two videos, here's the two key things to know. First, aphorisms are meant to be little nuggets of wisdom. The veracity of the wisdom? Well, that's for us to test. Second, after giving my thoughts, I'll very objectively rank each one based on whether I like the vibes, it's still relevant, it's funny, it's relatively novel, or at least made me think of something in a different way. Let's ease into it with some of Nietzsche's relationship advice. Friendship in marriage. Nietzsche says if you're a good friend, you'll probably attract the best kind of partner. Oh yeah, this I can fully get on board with. I think that's a fantastic test for marriage or any long-term romantic relationship. Will you still like hanging out with the person when limerence, the honeymoon period, fades? It's going in the A tier and has so much synergy with marriage as a long conversation. Life is full of transitory events, and most of our time is spent in conversation. So, before walking down that aisle, ask yourself, when we're old, will our convo still be good? I mean, what can I say? It's a 1-2 punch for Big N. Attract the best people by treating them well. Make sure you're with someone you love talking to about almost anything and everything. Someone call the manosphere and let them know Nietzsche solved the male loneliness epidemic in 1878. Another A for our guy. From the future of marriage. Nietzsche reckons guys who only marry for lust and passion aren't thinking of their potential kids or the future. They're thinking with their Ds. A good wife basically runs a guy's life for him, plus will hopefully have a side hustle of her own. So you can't expect her to be a sex slave. That's too much to ask, fellas. And perhaps some advice for the lady? Educated women should think of marriage as a friendship for the purpose of child rearing. And with this, except your dude's probably going to have a side piece. Holy shizen. It's given Madonna whore complex. It's given partner who's mother, cook and maid. It's all women should expect men to cheat if they can't fulfill their sexual desires after running a household logistics company, and not men should help with the load so their partners have the bandwidth to feel sexy. Heaven forbid a guy take initiative to help out around the place, Nietzsche. Maybe do the dishes or take out the trash without being told. Take an afternoon to look after their own kids and let the wife go pamper herself. Give her space to feel relaxed and hot so they can have a life partner they can also make sweet, sweet love to. Or be poly. I don't know. Quick, cancel that call to the manosphere. I spoke too soon. From 100 to 0. F for bro really fell off. Happiness of marriage. Big N says our habits are like spider webs, drawing tighter around us as we, the spiders, become trapped in the middle and have to live on our own blood. Freedom from these habit webs requires tearing them away forcefully, which causes pain for ourselves and the people we care about. How you feel about this will help you understand whether marriage is for you. Okay, first, Nietzsche, that's not how spiders work. They're not trapped in their own web. They don't eat their own blood. They might eat their mates, but that's a whole other analogy. Bottom line is their webs sustain them. And why are you saying you either get trapped in marriage or be a heartbreaker, including breaking your own heart apparently? If you feel trapped in a long-term relationship, then either you have inferior web spinning skills or maybe you're not a spider. Maybe you're a bug. You should go hang out with the other bugs instead. This annoyed me. Didn't outrage me though, so it can hang out in the D tier. Different size. A few men have sides because their women were abducted. Most because no one wanted to abduct them. And we're back to what the fuck, Nietzsche. Perhaps it's something about the way his German was translated, and abducted is meant to be like when you say someone stole someone's partner, like they've wooed them away, maybe. Please let it be that. As it stands, when women and girls are overwhelmingly the targets for abduction for either killing or sex trafficking, I'm gonna put this straight in F. From 2 straight A's to D's and F's. Can you see what I mean when I say Nietzsche gives me whiplash? Let's mellow out a bit with desire to avenge and vengeance. Nietzsche says people who can't overcome thoughts of revenge either have the power to act on it in a violent fever or don't have the power or courage to act on it, and the thoughts fester and poison their soul. If we assess morality by intention only, then both cases are equally bad. However, we usually assess the violent fever as worse because evil revenge consequences. Both views are short-sighted. This feels like Nietzsche having a bit of a dig at other flavours of philosophy. First, maybe Immanuel Kant, who reckoned the only thing that mattered to morality was intentions. Then there's Mills, who reckoned the only thing that mattered for morality was the consequence. Kant was just before Nietzsche's time, and Mills was an older contemporary, so their ideas were flying around by his time. If Nietzsche was having a dig, then yeah, I'm with you, Big N. I like me some middling ground morality where intentions and consequences are both considered. Look, this is fine. I just don't really care about it, so I'm going to put it in C. Censor vitae. Eventually you rise above what used to fire you up. There's nothing controversial here, and honestly what popped into my head for this one was the song Damn It by Blink-182. Well, I guess this is growing up. Dun, 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 dun. It's a solid but kind of obvious take, but it did make me think of Blink, so I'm going to put it in B. What one can promise. Here Big N says we can't control our feelings, and so there's no way we can promise someone we'll forever feel a certain way about them, whether it's to love, hate, or to be faithful. What we can promise is that we'll act in a way that's consistent with whatever feeling we're talking about. For example, we should take a promise to love someone forever to be a promise we'll continue to act like we love them. Whether we're feeling it or not, it maintains the illusion and helps keep the promise. This has two parts for me. First, the problem, which I agree with. We absolutely cannot control our feelings. There'd be a lot less drama in the world if we could. Feelings can never be promised. Then second, the solution, which I disagree with. The thought of a friend or partner promising to love me forever and then later not feeling it and faking it makes me shudder. As does the thought of having to fake love in someone's company when I don't. My solution is threefold. 1. Try to avoid making dramatic promises based on intense feelings alone. As Nietzsche has just sagely pointed out, we mellow out with age. Plus, life's journey is unpredictable. 2. Take other people's dramatic promises seriously, but always with the understanding it can never be a fixed and binding contract. To death to us part is beautiful, but pure hyperbole. 3. Because drama is fun, what colours life and is humanly unavoidable, make those crazy promises. But build yourself into the kind of person who can communicate when shit changes, so that the promisee isn't left wondering about the switch up, and you're not trapped in a fake situation, slowly building guilt or resentment. This one hits on something I believe is true, and while I don't agree with Nietzsche's solution, it provided some good thinking fodder. For that, I think B tier is fair. Making them wait. If you really want to piss people off and make them wild, make them wait. Okay, after 3 videos, I can confidently say bitchy, petty, hater Nietzsche is my favourite Nietzsche. He can be so deliciously evil. He knows exactly what he's doing and I love it, every time. Previously, when one of these has cropped up, it's earned an S tier. But this lot of aphorisms has some genuine, meaty, non-bitchy S tiers. Plus there's a few more bitchy ones to come. I can't in good conscience award this an S, and I also can't put it lower. So, because I have the power, I'm gonna make a brand new tier for his evil genius takes. And this is the first entrant. Pleasure in custom. Nietzsche says our habits give us pleasure because habitual actions are done with ease and have known outcomes. A useful habit can become a custom which communities then enforce on individuals. The trap is then thinking your custom is the only way to achieve a particular outcome. With this feedback loop, even really crappy customs can become normalized over time. Honestly, I think Nietzsche has nailed this one. Seriously, you can apply it to dogmatic religious customs, to female genital mutilation, to political culture wars. Equally, you can apply it to your grandparents sticking with something that's outdated, but it's what they know. On a level, it's entirely understandable. There's comfort in what's familiar, and it's easier to do what we know than to be uncomfortable learning something new, displacing habits, and finding out maybe there's a better way. I know it's cliche as fuck, but there's truth in saying growth and progress don't happen in the comfort zone. Rest in the comfort zone, enjoy it when you make it, but don't get trapped by it. I thought this was a good one. In an online landscape full of gender and generational wars, this advice remains super relevant. With the way it resonated, I'm putting it in S tier. Ceterum censo. Nietzsche describes a tension in the types of people who should be governing society. On one hand, he reckons people who don't have kids shouldn't be making laws because they don't have enough stake in the future. On the other, if you're married with kids, you absolutely can't be trusted to consider what will benefit wider society, since you're naturally going to be focused on what's best for you and your family, at least compared and contrasted to the person who's foregone the comfort of family and dedicated themselves to obtaining knowledge about the whole of existence. This feels like a really exaggerated and unnecessary division. I don't have kids of my own, but I have nibblings, and you best believe I'm fiercely concerned with their futures and want to leave a healthy society and planet for them to inherit. And on the flip side, the parents in my life also fiercely love their children, but can recognise that what's good for society is also good for their children's futures. Obviously this isn't universal, but being an arsehole comes in all shapes and sizes and doesn't hinge on parental status. This one just doesn't sit particularly well with me. Not the worst, but still going the D tier. Silence. No matter how mad you are, if someone comes at you heated, give them the silent treatment. It sends a real "you're not worth my time" vibe they'll hate. Evil Nietzsche is here again and I love it. You know where this is going. The evil tier. More troublesome than enemies. Nietzsche says we hate having to play nice with someone when we don't believe they're being genuine. It's way more annoying than when we know we don't like someone, because we've got to spend time and energy trying to figure out if we can trust them. Totally relate to this. My brain lacks clarity. Whether it's love them or hate them, I'll sleep peacefully knowing where they fit. Being unsure about someone? Now that's where anxiety thrives. Questioning if I'm being unfair or they're just really good at being devious. Popping this one in B. The hour-handed life. Nietzsche says there's only a few truly significant moments in our life that stay with us in the intervals between. We often can't perceive the full beauty of these moments either, though imperfect perception is better than nothing, since there's some people who don't experience them at all and they're just part of the background noise to life. This tickles both my romantic and my chronically online side. It's really poetically written, with a little bit of life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, mixed with core memory unlocked and main character energy versus NPC. I think we can all agree there are formative moments of beauty or realizations that stay with us vividly. But as I'm understanding it, he thinks the intervals in between are humdrum and not counted as formative, which I don't agree with. I love lots of little bits in daily routine. The warmth of a shower, the smell of coffee as I walk past cafes, getting a random meme from a friend, happy to know that they're thinking of me, finding a new food to become obsessed with, eating it too much until I can't even stand to think of it anymore. I think glacial growth happens in the humdrum of life between the big events, and it's just as formative. Plus, let's have some vindication for the people Nietzsche classes as NPCs. I'm torn. This one is beautiful, but not quite right. So, C. Contempt for people. Biggest red flag that someone's a piece of shit is if they're only nice when it serves them, and when it doesn't, they're an asshole. Watch how someone treats waiters and service staff, y'all. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. B tier. Love as a device. Nietzsche's saying if we want to really get to know someone or something, we've got to start out being obsessed with it. This will have us super invested in getting to know our obsession's inner workings before reality sets in and we gain some more objective perspective. It's these kind of aphorisms that make me wonder if Big N was a little neurospicy, because I'm getting a whole lot of hyperfixation energy from what he says here. And I have to agree with him. Love, whether limerence or immersion into a new hobby, really does serve as a fast track to learning. Personally, if I've got limited interest in something, I'll usually only have a shallow understanding because I simply don't care to go deeper. As a chalant person, I'm very into this one. I think it deserves A tier. Friend. Shared joy, not compassion, makes a friend. There's some truth here, I think. You can feel compassion for just about anyone, but to laugh and share something that gives mutual joy is a treasured memory. Nice and simple, not blowing my socks off. Average marks get a C. Punctum saliens of passion. This is basically the straw that broke the camel's back, with more words. It's a good saying, but it predates Nietzsche in one form or another. Unoriginal, it's going in T. The ability to wait. The TLDR here is that patience is a virtue, that it's really hard to be patient when passions are high, and this creates false urgency and warps our good sense. I'm sure we've all acted in the heat of the moment and done something we regret. It's a canon event. I actually really enjoy the last bit in this, where Nietzsche gives an example of dueling. It drips with sardonic eye rolling. He says, of course, a duel to the death must happen immediately. If the duelists feel they can't wait to cool off, because continuing suffering the horrible torture of offended honour is clearly a fate worse than death. I think the whole passage is a bit long-winded, but it's also not wrong, and we love a little tongue-in-cheek jab at irrational passions. I reckon C is fine. Voluntary sacrificial animal. Nietzsche calls out that women are usually used as a decoy for a guy's bad behaviour. They take the fall for men's bullshit so the rabid public can direct their feelings of outrage at someone who's not a man. The man will allow it and then probably distance himself from the scapegoated woman, collectively blaming a woman instead of the man allowing the woman to take the heat and, for her sacrifice, distancing himself from the pariah he created. Some things really haven't progressed a whole lot since Nietzsche's time. Approximately 150 years later, and this is still a progressive take. I mean, who's more reviled and suffered the greater fallout, Amber Heard or Johnny Depp? The blame and shame placed on women for men's actions can't be overstated. There's still a whole lot of, what did you expect wearing that? And not so much, why do you think you're entitled to someone's body based on what they're wearing? Part of what Big N says is that women will voluntarily offer themselves up for their chosen man's benefit, which I don't fully agree with, but it's not fundamentally untrue either. This is an unexpectedly raw, real, and pretty feminist take, an insight into something that persists to this day. It's joining the S tier. The friend's secret. Basically, most people would prefer to spill their friend's tea over sitting in awkward silence with you. I find this both funny and not untrue. Stay safe out there, my gossip queens. And our last aphorism is going into the evil tier. Thank you for riding the Nietzsche roller coaster with me for one last time. I'm not liable for any neck braces you might need from the sudden changes of direction we had going on. I've got my own whiplash to attend to. Please check out parts 1 and 2 on my channel. They're janky, but still worth a listen, I reckon. And that's all from me. I'll see you in the next one.